Taurus, welcome to your energy check-in. It is my pleasure to read for you guys. As you guys know, these readings are timeless and signless. And when I say timeless, that means you can totally access it at any time that you want. Just know that these readings tend to unfold. So whenever you do access it, please know that it can extend 30 days, like as little as 30 days before and after, right? And also, you don't have to have any placements in Taurus at all. If it feels like it's for you and you feel guided, then it is. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please feel free to reach out. Just go ahead and follow the links to my Etsy page. You will find at least 16 types of readings at varying prices and yada, yada, yada. Ooh, this. All right, so let's jump right in. Oh, and last thing, all of my readings except for the Zoom readings and the 48-hour turnarounds have a 2-week grace period, okay? All right, anyway, let's jump in. Thanks, God. Ooh, I just checked the time. 1 minute and 11 seconds. Yay! God is good. All right, so let's jump in, guys. Already, if this reading is for you, I'm seeing that, oh my God, I just checked the time again. It was 1 minute and 22 seconds. Okay, so God is on track. Oh, all right. Okay, looks like somebody here is getting pulled up is what I'm getting. So if this reading is for you, I'm feeling some grandmotherly energies coming in as well, but spirit is coming through to kind of lecture. You see my hands already? It's like lecture, lecture, lecture. Something is happening. I'm also getting a little bit of police energy. So spirit is definitely coming through with a message that somebody here is being scolded. They've been doing something that they shouldn't have done, or shouldn't have been doing. It seems a little bit like candy, or no, what is it? A hand in the cookie jar moment. But interestingly, for some of you here, you may not actually have physically reached into the cookie jar as yet. So this is like a shout out to you if you've been thinking about it. Or you remember, anything that happens in a physical first always must happen in a non-physical. And so even though you may not have done something, you know if this is for you because you may be feeling it like, well, I was kind of thinking about it, or it's been on my mind. Or what's crazy, you may have been watching a lot of shows or being exposed to a lot of things where the theme is consistent, where the characters, or just you've been hearing people about other people in your life who did a certain thing, and if you put two and two together, that's in the realm of what's in your potential, and you'll know if it's you. Okay, so don't try to hide, because I'm getting somebody is being called out here. Anyway, so Taurus, let's they're like, we just need to get that through. Now, the reason why they're coming through so strong, oh, somebody's grandmother again is coming through. Come through, grandma, right? The reason why they're really pushing forward with that is because you're at a sensitive and delicate time in your life where it is about cutting your losses and running. It's almost like there's a grandmotherly energy here who's representing a representative of this energy in general, but it's spirit. But she's like, you're at the end zone. And if I could translate what she's saying, she's like, don't worry about any of these people at all, these other family members, this, that, the other. You need to just run for the end zone, is what she's saying. So it's like, don't get caught up in the other people's stuff, is the long and short story of this, because you're poised to make a really great quantum jump, or quantum leap, if you will, in your lifetime right now. And sometimes we get kind of caught up in the people around us, like, oh, this person's going through that trauma, that person is going through this drama, my uncle this, my aunt this, my cousin this, my best friend this, my ex-husband that, whatever. But if you really sat down, you'd realize this really has nothing to do with me. And a lot of times people make other people's stuff be about them. And what they do is they end up sabotaging something that could happen for them. You see, that's why I kind of just put that deck there as I'm feeling the energy, because it's like first they were like no, because you need to be scolded for something, and also like focus, focus, focus on not giving up your dreams for somebody else's drama. Okay, so now that that's been set straight, wow, pretty strong, pretty strong. Okay. Okay, so I'm also getting that at this time, this feels very like a temporary energy. They're bringing us to this, back to this energy that's temporary. They're saying a lot of you through this paradigm shift are definitely poising yourself, right? Get poising. Can that even be a word? You're positioning yourself to get into a place where you can be more in the output, the productive, the dharmic place in your life. In other words, then you can step into spiritual service. But before, no wonder they were saying spirit, before you can step into spiritual service, you have to step into spirit. And as I'm saying this, I'm feeling that some of you on here might be like, oh yeah, that's me, this is definitely me, because you've possibly been getting a calling. So a lot of you may be getting a calling, but you don't know exactly what you're going to be doing. It's because you don't necessarily know how spirit is going to use you yet. I mean, some of you will, but you, until you step into spirit, your higher self. So this is talking about cutting the losses, showing spirit that you can detach from other people's drama, that all that 3D drama, their politics, their this, their that, detach from it. And I know some people may get caught up, well, I am a citizen of the world, and you are in the world, but you're not of this world. Especially if you watch these videos, because my guides try to connect with people who are poised to awaken to something higher in themselves, and it's usually spiritual service. So you have to remember, you're here to serve. You can't get caught up in a lot of the stuff that you're down here trying to help alleviate, right? And so again, so if this reading is for you, you've got to show spirit you can say no and detach from these things. How do you do it? You put yourself first, and you put your highest interests first. Anytime we go towards our highest good, we're automatically creating the highest good for other people. They may not experience it as such, because of course when you start to get active, they start to miss you. You know, you were a crutch and all sorts of stuff, right? But at the end of the day, you have to move forward and get through that door. And once you do that, you're going to step into a higher part of yourself. And after that, you can start really stepping into what I would say is mastery, which is finally activating that spiritual service, that contract, and really undertaking what it is that you're supposed to undertake. But notice how we have the karmic clearing card right here, sitting right next to the spiritual service card. It's because, and I want you to think of this as the spirit card. It's because once you step into this higher aspect of yours, right? Or along the way to stepping into this higher aspect of yours, it's going to necessitate clearing any negative energy, clearing all that low vibe. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be spick and span in your energetic field. No one is really. Otherwise, what are we doing down here? We need... we're going to be working on stuff always, in addition to doing service, right? But you see how these cards go together? That's you. And these are these energies that you're rising above. Now, in order to rise above lower vibration energies and low vibing situations, you're going to have to kind of clear your own field of these frequencies, because once you start to clear these frequencies, then you kind of you it's not about you saying back, all of you, it's about you actively elevating yourself to the point that your field spins so quickly that lower vibrating energies, which move slower, cannot be in that field anymore, and so they're flung out. Now let's talk about that flinging out. Whenever you have a change of state and you raise your vibrational frequency, what happens is that things around you can no longer accord with you. And then, they must leave because they don't vibe anymore. There's no harmonic anymore. And what that can feel like on the physical level can be very painful. It can be the getting fired, right, from the job, but actually it was in your interest, so amen. It can look like just getting a new job. It can look like somebody storming out on you. It could look like or even just something benign like, oh my god, every time we try to meet up, I'm busy and then you're busy and we keep playing phone tag. And it could be something as simple as that. And sometimes you don't even perceive of that other person, place, thing, or situation. If it's somebody that you used to have trouble with, like a neighbor, once you change your vibratory state, you'll go right outside. And when you turn left, they come outside. They don't see you, you don't see them. Somehow, you guys just miss each other all the time. And that's because you're technically living in two different realities, two different timelines, so to speak. And so you see, anytime you want to quote unquote rise above something, you see how it's always reflected in our language. When you want to rise above something or get something out of the way, you need only change your attention, your focus, and through your attention and focus and your core beliefs, you can actually alter the energy within your field. Another way to actually change your vibratory state, in addition to changing your focus and all of that, is to get an energy shift, right? That's when you go to, like, I do energy shifts, for example, through my site. Or you can do Reiki as well. You can do acupressure. You can also do EFT. There are so many things that you can do to actively create change within your energetic field. And when you have that kind of an alchemical change, what naturally happens is that at the physical level, things change as well. And a lot of people are really afraid to have this kind of transformation at times, whether they're aware of it or not, because they understand that principle that what happens in the non-physical results in the physical. And so that's when they kind of know, like, okay, if I want to heal and I want to change my life, I kind of know that I may no longer be with Romeo, because I know Romeo is actually not a vibrational match to me. He's not honoring me. I don't honor myself when I'm in that connection, but I can't say goodbye yet. And so I keep holding on and I keep stopping myself from having my new beginning, or from taking care of myself, right? Anyway, guys, preaching to the choir, right? We all know this. Okay, so what else is coming up for our Tauruses? Okay, so Taurus, whatever you're getting involved with, you need to stop and go for it. Go forth. There's your grandma again, right? Family of light. Okay, I kind of feel some magician energies coming in, which makes total sense with this card here. Look at that. I'm feeling some magician energies. Now, I feel this is for some of you here. Some of you will kind of know if it's you. Somebody here may have a nose issue of some sort. If you have a nose issue of some sort right now on this, and you're like, oh my God, that's me, this message is for you. It doesn't mean that if you don't have a nose issue, it's not for you. For somebody else, the image of a snail is coming to mind. Another person, cotton candy is coming into mind, right? I feel like there's some symbols, nails, like your nails, like nail polish or nails. The guides are just throwing out some stuff that they kind of put in your path so you could know it's for you, it's for you. Paper is another thing, right? Oh my God, as I just look down, because I'm looking over here, but I look down, look at this. Got it. Now, I want to talk to some of you here. Some of you, all of you are trying to have, if this reading is for you, are in this process of needing to focus on your goal and make that shift. But some of you are actively trying to manifest some things. You're trying to do some type of quantum manifestation going on. I'm seeing this as a focus of your higher self, right? And as of a higher aspect of you. And I want to kind of direct you to, yeah, I'm just getting I'm just gonna say his name, Melchizedek. Why am I blanking on his name now? Melchizedek, Drunvalo Melchizedek. Anyway, that could be to follow up on that name. It could also be about looking into the Merkaba, right? For some of you, you're gonna know if this is you. If it's not you, don't worry about it. And if it is for you, but you're not making the connection at this time, don't worry. Your guides will point you out. They'll point it out to you. But take a look here how, I mean, I literally just split the deck, and as I look down, I see we have the divine feminine and the masculine. Now, Spirit is looking at this same subset of people. And meanwhile, all the others are kind of sitting around and they're watching too. But Spirit is looking at this subset of people, and they're telling they're showing me this, yeah, it's the Merkaba, where it's, spinning, the top and the bottom, right? It's spinning, and they're showing that you've got, these two halves here, and it's like make magic, manifest. This is hopefully going to make sense for for some of you if it's for you. And they're saying through this flexibility in your field, through this work with their Merkaba, through reclaiming this understanding of this sacred vehicle that you already have, that is either activated already or they're pushing you to activate at this time, you can slip in to your masculine and then slip out to your feminine and slip back into your masculine and slip back out to your feminine. And through this kind of movement, this yin yang movement, this north south movement, this dichotomy, this dialectic, through all of this, you are able to pretty much, I want to say, make magic, manifest, make magic, move if you want. When I say move, like just navigate through life, navigate through whatever it is that you're doing. Could be interdimensional travel as well. So yeah, thank you guys. they're saying let's let it be. Good, you got it, you got the message. Anyway, if that's for you, you're gonna know. And again, just look up you can follow Merkaba activation, and some of you already have activated. Yeah, they're saying that if that's for you, you already know how to do this. You already know how to do this. Just awaken it. And I'm getting, for some of you, this could be a process that will be done in about 3 months with the focus study. And when I say focus study, I'm talking about also in the dream space, when you may study with the ascended masters and just with your guides and whatnot. And for others, it could be up to 6 to 8 months, right? And either way, Spirit is saying that the message has been transmitted and received. And so there you go. All right, now Spirit is bringing in the energy of purple flowers. Okay, so purple flowers is going to be for somebody. I do have to be honest, I'm not sure. I'm suddenly getting the energy of maybe somebody who may have passed, God bless. Could have been around Easter as well, right? But I'm just seeing that there. So if that's for you, then I hope that you find comfort in that, what just came through. But let's go ahead and pull some cards here for opening it back up to the collective here. Okay. Yes, I also have some interdimensional beings that are like kind of saying, they're introducing themselves for somebody here. So if somebody here, yeah, look at this contract. Yeah, if there's someone here who has been feeling like they've been being contacted by, yeah, look, this truth card, being contacted by ETs or let's just say interdimensional beings, then that's your confirmation. Yeah. They're like, hi. They kind of slipped into the side and they're like, excuse me, can we just, yes, you may. And they're like, we're here for you when you're ready. So this is giving me the idea that maybe they've been trying to connect with you. Could be more than one person, right, for them to come through now, but they've been trying to connect to whoever this is, and it feels like maybe you were kind of connecting at one moment, but then somehow you gave up, or you wrote it off as, oh, this isn't real, or I don't want to do this anymore, whether it's because you got a little nervous about something, or I don't know, but they're like, we heard you, we're here for you when you're ready to resume. And of course they're ready to resume now, but just letting you know, when you're ready to resume, I do see the soul contract there to enter into this interspecies communication. Okay, and if that's for you, you're gonna know that. All righties. All right, so let's delve in. So one of the things that I'm picking up for you at this time, Taurus, if this reading is for you, I'm getting the presence of mother issues. It's in particular, I'm getting the energy of the absentee mother. Okay, so I think that it's important for you at this time, with all of the astrological influences going on, my dear Taurus, or whoever you are, to start to consider what your connection is to the mother figure in your life, whether or not you would consider this person to be valuable to you, or influential in a positive way, or a friend, or whether or not you, or whether you would even consider them to be antithetical to your life, right? The whole point is to look at that feminine energy as an imprint, in a sense, because at the very best we project out into the world, right? And so whenever we want to take a look at what the feminine is like within us, or the masculine is like within us, we need only look as closely as our parents. I know that sounds a little controversial, in the sense that some people say, but my dad was an alcoholic and I haven't touched it, and I haven't. Yes, but that's just the details, right? When we look at the dynamic, maybe your father had this pathology of lying, of self-denying, of things like that, blaming, and you may not realize it. You may not have picked up the bottle, but you carry that same energy, and so there's this imprinting, right? So long story short, there's mirroring, and when the parents don't just give us the value of roof and food, if we're even lucky to have that. They give us value in mirroring back to us the very vibrations that we carry. And so when you can finally look at a picture of your mother or father without feeling a certain type of way, without this tension inside, right, then you will know that you have overcome something, that you've reached forgiveness. And so I do pick up some energies of an unaccountable and a very absent feminine energy as the motherly figure for some of you here. All right, now this doesn't mean that you don't love your mom, and this doesn't mean that you don't honor them, right? But in fact, you honor them by this is mother's month, right? May, right? In fact, you honor them by exploring what they represent to you, knowing full well that you can do that. You are here to learn. You are within your right to explore what they represent to you, and to explore and make a decision as to whether or not their influence, or many of their influences, have been positive or negative for you, and what you can glean from that. And you can do so knowing that it doesn't mean that you don't love this person. Okay, look, this isn't first grade, guys, where it's like, I have this bad thought about you. This means I'm a bad person because I'm not allowed to have it. No. You may carry those feelings as children because, there's always this guilt, right? But it's so interesting. Oh, let me say, but the advanced way to look at this is that you can question. Gosh darn it, you can question without it meaning that you're a bad person, and without it meaning that you're ungrateful and that you don't love this person. Now, the guides are interestingly drawing a parallel to Catholicism. Okay, now they're saying that in that stream of thought, and they're not saying it doesn't exist in other religions and blah blah blah. They're actually just showing that it's similar with that Catholicism. When people started to question, they wanted to question this, the faith, to question their relationship to God, and to question his, or her, or its existence. And then with that came this direct backlash almost at the same moment because of conditioning of guilt and feeling like you were bad to question, and oh my gosh, I'm bad to consider other things like what is it what was it, science or philosophy or psychology, or the many things that have come along the way, right? And so even just to question your soul and your value and whether you're good or bad. So you see, guys, in this month or whenever you're watching this, Spirit is directing us to take a look at this theme of this absentee mother, this theme of this unaccountable mother, right? And in a sense, we can find those same themes in our religion, or and yet, like I said, in our parents, and probably even in other themes of our life, where it's like, wait a minute, this is somebody or something that's supposed to care for me. This is something or somebody that is supposed to be my source, my rock. But yet it's not fulfilling, and it's not sustainable. It's not here all the time. It's not unconditional. It's not pleasant. It's right. And there's nothing wrong in investigating that, knowing full well that you're not here to discard anything or to even give yourself a value judgment. It's just to understand yourself better. And what does that look like on the ground level here? That looks like, oh, if I look at my mom, gosh, yes, she did put us through school, and yes, she did do this, but you know what? There were times when I didn't feel emotionally supported by her. I didn't feel that she understood what I was going through. And now that I look at it, I don't think that she understood what she was going through. I don't think that she even showed up to emotionally fulfill herself, right? So all of a sudden there's space for compassion, there's space for understanding, there's also space for compassion for self, because whether or not you understand why a parent was not available for you in the way that you particularly needed, it doesn't excuse the fact that you didn't get what you needed. And so you have to be able to hold that space for yourself as you investigate and say, oh, okay, well, I understand why my mom or my dad wasn't available for me, and that's because they weren't available for themselves, but I still didn't get what I needed, and this is my result. Now I'm not available to myself, and I'm not available to other people. Okay? And so you kind of, through that inquiry, you can take a safer look at yourself. They're saying it's a safer look because, remember, the outside world is merely a projection of what we have inside. But we're still in this place where we feel safer. It's much safer to blame others or to look outside of us and locate these qualities that we don't want to look at within, right? It's the same way, same reason we blame somebody for doing something when, listen, you're the same. It's like my dad used to say, a thief hates to see another thief with a bag. I know that doesn't make sense, right? I'm like, what does that even mean? It's kind of like his way of saying, if you spot it, you got it. Don't hate on that person for stealing. You would do the same thing, right? And so we do have to open that inquiry up for ourselves. All right, so look at this. The reason why Spirit is kind of getting you to go inward to this mother, it's interesting because we're talking about the mother, and look at the truth card. It's almost like this focus is right here on the divine feminine, right? The reason why they're asking you to go in to that inquiry is because there's something you need to discover about yourself. Oh, look, we even have the reflection card. Come on, guys, look, they're not here to play. The reason why you have to reflect right now is kind of similar to what was going on with Aries that I just did. It's because you're stepping into something bigger. We know that. It's here. We have contracts. We don't have one contract. We have quite a few contracts here waiting. But when it's time to step into that new contract, this is another contract here. that new contract later this year, right? When the time is right, it's almost like a snapshot. It's like, let me see. It's like this. You're like, hi, I'm here to activate my new contract. And it's like at border patrol, let me see your passport, let me see your energy frequency. All right. And then they do whatever they do. They scan it, and you're going to attract the soul contracts, whether it's a person, a place, a thing, job, situation, that's based off of this. So in your soul passport, when it's time for you to meet with Border Patrol, you never have to, but when it's time for you to meet with Border Patrol or Customs and all of that, you want to make sure that you have your energetic field at the vibration that you want it to. Now, why is that even a big deal? Like, why can't God just send me whatever? God or spirit, really your higher self, let's keep that real. But let's say God, let's say spirit, right? Because no, we're going to keep this real, your higher self, because I went into it in Aries about how we keep kind of blaming God for things that don't work out. And you need to locate it within you, because you wrote the chart, right? But when your higher self brings you into, let's say, brings you into connection with things, your higher self can only expose you to the range of things that can vibrate with what you already carry. So the good thing about that is that means you need only condition your field so that you can get to this higher level, so that you can vibrate higher, you can be more authentic, you could stay in your integrity, you can have good eating habits, you can distance yourself from people that bring you down. All of that changes the frequency in your field, and so your higher self can pull contracts in that are in the potential that harmonize with that. But at the same time, remember, you will also be pulling in through magnetism those who are of a lower vibration that reflect the lower vibration that you have within yourself. And so your best bet is really to understand that when you're starting to actively call in or manifest, whether it's consciously or not unconsciously, you're going to pull in a range of quality. So I heard this analogy once, and I love it, and I always use it. You can have 3 types. Let's say you want a boyfriend. I want a boyfriend. Yeah, you can get a boyfriend, trust me. But what's the quality? You can get the toilet water kind of boyfriend, you can get the eau de toilette boyfriend, or you can get the eau de parfum boyfriend, right? So what makes the difference between those 3 boyfriends, or those 3 jobs and workplaces, or those 3 houses, or those 3 real estate agents? What makes the difference is your energetic field. And this is bringing us back to what your grandmother was saying earlier. Now, all of our collective grandmother, right? Stop wasting time with time wasters. That's what they're saying. Stop wasting time with time wasters. Family, friends, certain types of movies and TV and books and media. And yes, they can be entertaining, but of course we can laugh at that kind of humor and do all this. But please know that it's still a low vibration, and you're still pulling yourself down anytime you enter into that kind of energetic field. So what you should do is cut your losses. Not your losses, make your decision to raise your vibration. As you raise your vibration, you step higher into your higher self, and you can pull in higher energies with whatever it is that is coming for you. So when it's time for you to move to a new house, you're gonna have options, and the range of options is really dependent upon you. And so again, Spirit is saying in this month, or whenever you're watching, that one of the best ways to, I guess, condition your field is to do that inner work regarding your mother. Okay, look at your mother, and if you're like, but I don't know my mother, it's fine. It's fine. Consider what that means to you. So if somebody were to sit and have you measure, and this is for all the mothers, fathers, whatever, anybody, this is for all of that. If you think about this person, just go ahead and measure qualitatively how that person hits you, so to speak. So just throwing out like 5 words, I feel this when I think about this person. This person reminds me of this. Right? This person has done this for me 5 times. This person, whatever. But this is how you can kind of get to understand how you're actually feeling towards this mother or this concept of mother. So again, they're pointing out this analogy that they said about Catholicism, but now they're opening it up, they're broadening it to be representative of any faith that you have, or any belief system, or any thing or person that can become like a parent to you, right? Some people are parented by their teachers because they have that deep abiding love for their teachers, and they are the ones who are always in office hours, and they become buddy with their teachers, and then they become the graduate student and they work for that teacher, and so that teacher is in that exalted position as parenting on some level. You can extend it to mentors, you can whatever, anybody giving you feedback in any kind of way they're saying about who you are and what your potential is, whether they say it or not, right? That's somebody that you want to always look at and measure. How does this person hit me? And through that, you can have a better understanding about yourself. And it's also leading you to shadow work. Because when you start to locate, especially the negative things in whoever this other person is, remember, they're just reflecting for you what you have within you, but have not owned yet. So if you're saying that person's really lazy or whatever, I guarantee you that there's an aspect of you that you're carrying. It may not be active, but there's an aspect of you that you're carrying. It could be a past lifetime active aspect, whatever, that's in your energetic field that you don't want to acknowledge, all right? Because we're never just carrying just us. Like if I said, what's your personality? You'll say, this is me. But then when I look in your energetic field, I'm going to see, yeah, I see that, but actually I see all this other stuff too. That's because you're carrying this and that person from the 18th century and this and that. And these are all aspects of you that you've come in to integrate. And so a lot of times it's those energies that cause you, like you don't like having those energies of yourself, right? And so you see it in other people, but you disown it. And so that's why it's very, very important to understand that just because you're not consciously aware of something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And it's always an invitation to inquiry whenever we have an energy or a feeling that doesn't feel good, okay? And so anyway, wow, they're really getting us in this month, Taurus. Whenever this month is, and whoever you are. To quickly summarize, dear God, what this reading is pulling through, it's all right here. Just right here. This is all just the little extra stuff that we use to explain this. But this is pretty straightforward. Hey man, it's time for you to have an upgrade. You gotta clear out some of that karmic stuff. You gotta reflect on the inside so that you can start to clear, so that you can have this upgrade. Why? Because we're positioning you for something greater. You may not know, but it's coming later this year. From when I'm doing this, or whenever you watch this video, I guess in a few months, right? And the more that you clear now, and the more clear you become about who you really are and what you're really carrying, without disowning it, without slipping into that denial, the better position you're going to be in order to receive something of value, okay? I really hope that makes sense. Now, I did feel that these cards, beautiful, wanted to work with you, okay? So let's go ahead. These are called the Lantern Oracle. They're absolutely stunning. Some of the artwork is very explicit, but that's okay. Yes, this is so summarizing this reading. You see, Spirit is coming through, and you see that lighthouse? That's, first of all, this is you. And that's the lighthouse. That's where you're headed. So Spirit is saying you're headed somewhere, right? in the future. But right now, we want you to be aware that by the time you, oh my God, guys, I just checked the time, 39 minutes, 39 seconds. Okay, there's the alignment. They're saying from where you are now to where we're sending you, you're going to have to use that time to clear some stuff so that when you get here to connect with whoever or whatever it is that will be provided unto you, you can be smarter, wiser, healthier, at a higher perspective of life so that you can know what is and what isn't for you at that time. And now, people are, maybe we're always like, well, why can't God just send me the right person or the right situation? And then I would latch on to it. I promise I will. I would never turn it down. But going back to what we were saying, if you don't have that energetic potential, or not say potential, if you don't have the frequency that's required to attract it, let alone hold it, it's not going to work. Now, let's say spirit, you know what that'll be like? Let's say you're at a party and your future husband or wife is at that party, dear God. If you are not in the right frame of mind, if your energy frequency isn't there, this person will not stand out to you. That's if you're even lucky to even brush elbows with them. Otherwise, it'll be like, oh, you entered the party through the pool area and he entered the party through the barbecue area, and never did your two ships pass. You never spoke to each other. But you're at the same party 7 years later after you've done all your work, you've had your heart broken, you've grown, you've been forced into some Reiki sessions, right? You've cleared. And of course, he's done his work as well. Now you're a vibrational match, and now it's like the universe cannot even keep you apart. And it's like, oh my God, hey, have I seen you before? And one of you probably won't even remember. No, I don't know. But do I look familiar? Yes, I think I saw you at so and so's party, right? For the christening, or it's always a christening, I don't know, guys. And they're like, that was 7 years ago. Yeah, that was. I think I saw you because you look really familiar. Well, I was there. Yeah, I was there. And then boom, from then on, it's like peas and carrots. You guys are not separated ever again. You see what I mean? But had you done the work before, had you been at the vibrational frequency that was needed at that time, you guys would have hit it off. Another example is sometimes God sends us a good person, right? And we can't appreciate them at that time. It's the person writing you poetry and you just laugh it off. You don't even take it seriously. Now you're just lucky for someone to even look your way, let alone to pick up a pen about it, right? Right? Or you cheat on them, or you don't you take them for granted. You allow your family members or your friends to say stuff that causes the breakup because you don't protect them, and you don't, or you choose your career over them, or and so I'm not saying that you're a bad person or they're a bad person or whatnot. It's just to show you, sometimes spirit can do everything they can to bring you to the door of this person, but if you cannot appreciate them at that time because you don't have the experience that would have brought you to that appreciation, then it's like, why even send this person to you just to be thrown away and have their heart broken? Better to send them off to somebody else who can appreciate them, right? And so Spirit is saying, listen, we've got someone or something wonderful for you. If you're watching this reading and you're still in it, and it's resonating, after this amount of time, then you've got something or someone coming in at least later this year. This is what I'm getting. And you just have a little bit of further to go. And they're saying that they're including you in this conversation because the more that you focus on clearing, the better your odds will be for being able to, attract or keep. Okay, so let's look at these last few cards and let's move on. Okay, Now, one of the things Spirit is saying, it's almost like a promise. Thanks, Spirit, because we like these promises. Look at these. It looks like the same person, but at different ages. Oh my gosh, I just looked at the time. It was 44 minutes and 4 seconds. Just as I said that, it was 44 minutes and 44 seconds. So all this is alignment, right? So Spirit is showing, they're promising that you can get from here to here in this lifetime. Yes, it may take time. It doesn't have to take this amount of time, right? But it doesn't matter. But they're saying there is the promise of healing. And not only healing on the physical level, but healing interdimensionally, right? You need only surrender and have the mindset to move forward in the interests of your highest good. Take a look at her cute little ball here. And it's almost like that ball is also kind of around her head. Do you see some of the energies right there? It's like if you can take if you can surround yourself, even with your pain now, if you can surround yourself and allow for your higher self to bring in this learning, I mean, you can work wonders, but you've got to surrender to it. And they're saying also, look at the cards, they always go together, that it's understandable that you're not going to want to do this work. But again, I feel like you're kind of close. Guys, we came through quite a lot last year. Last year dragged on. Look, we're going to be real. It dragged on last year. You can do a little work this year. It's not that waiting till the end of this year is not that long, right? But look at this. They're saying we understand it's not going to be easy, but put your sights on it. Put your sights on it. Because look how this is also you. You're like walking through here. You're getting, a little bit of a thorn action from the bushes in here and stuff. But you're going to come out. You're going to come out of it. You're already in it, so you might as well get going. They're showing this card, actually, it wants to come in. Look at this, distorted desire. There's this promise. Oh my gosh, I just looked at the time, 46 minutes, 46 seconds. So yeah, they're really trying to let us know. There's this promise that if you surrender to Spirit, you will not get lost. Look at how she's like lost down here in the bushes. And she's off path. She should be over there. Her guides are like, "Hey, where are you going? It's that way." And you're like, but I no. So before you get in here, you need to get your perspective figured out. What is your perspective? My highest good. Because as they pointed out earlier, when you make this shift, you're shifting into your highest self, into your higher spirit. And when you're aligning with your higher spirit, the higher aspects, your higher dimensional beings, that's perfect. You just have to keep your eyes set on them. That's when you say, "Dear God, please make my will your will. Please let your will be my will. Please guide my steps. Please take me through this. Please give me the strength I need." Whatever it is that you need to tell yourself. And then when you go down and you start to do the inner work, you start to love yourself and you start to extend that forgiveness to yourself. Trust me, you will not get lost. Will it always be easy? No. Sometimes you'll be crying because you're clearing energy, right? But there will also be fun times when you have epiphanies. Look at this. This is the promise. False beliefs are around all of us. But you think she's falling for any more false beliefs when she's got this owl? I mean, no. That owl's going to be like, "Who dat?" You're like, "You're right. I don't know who that is. Let's go." Right? This is your guard also talking. Your guards are coming through saying, we've got you. We're taking care of you. So if this is you trusting those tricksters, Spirit is saying, stick with Spirit. Set your sights on something higher, is what they're saying. And one of the highest vibing cards that I feel in this Akashic deck is this. And you've got it. Of all the cards that I used to use these exclusively when I was doing my readings on YouTube when I first started. But look, this one is the least used. This is my integrity card. It comes out when Spirit is dropping the truth bombs, okay? So this is what that's all about. So anyway, guys, I'm going to end it here because this was already a lot. But I want to summarize for you at this time, if whenever it is, if you're watching this reading and you're finding that it's resonating and you're watching it till the end, then please know that what Spirit is encouraging you to do right now is to prepare yourself for your personal evolution, your personal step up, your personal ascension. And in order to do that, it's important to start looking at the mother energy that you're carrying, the mother energies around you, because that informs you about the feminine energies within you. It also is an invitation to inquiry. Look at the shadows that you're carrying. What do you not want to own? Do that deep inner work, because any inner work that you do at this time is going to make room for light. And the more light that comes into your field, the more your frequency ascends. And so I do feel that if this reading is for you, that you're going to be stepping into something in the physical, whether it's a new relationship, a new job, a new house, something that requires you to, really have your discernment on point. Whatever you do today is going to help put you in a better position to attract higher quality in that. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there because my voice is thoroughly dry. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, which is just on your energy, please do feel free to reach out to me. I do offer about 16 readings at this time. You can go on my Etsy site and check it out. Okay. Until then, love you guys, and please enjoy your time, your month. Bye.